Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. This is part of our series, and we are still talking about the secrets for successful students. Inshallah, in this video, I'll be covering the rest of the qualities so we can wrap it up. Inshallah, our plan is to cover different topics. We're very excited that some of our parents are asking for specific topics, so we'll try to cover as many of those as we can. So if you do have any questions, please send them to us and add your comments whenever possible. The qualities that I'm going to talk about today, actually, I'm going to also kind of like give you the one term that a lot of people kind of like use, especially those who are motivational speakers. But most of us, believe it or not, do not know the term. So I'm going to break it down to the things that we want to have in our kids and then kind of like summarize it in one single word. So they have to be compassionate. They have to care about their school. They have to put a value to it. For us, anyone, if you ask them to commit to anything, if they don't see what we call return on investment, they're less likely to be committed to it. And this starts with actually the parents. A lot of people think that the parents themselves, they have to be educated, they have to have the highest of the diplomas. Not really a crucial thing. Yes, that might play a role in kind of like encouraging the kids, but really the attitude that the parents would have really plays a big role in kind of like having the kids to really care about their school, to put value to it, so they can actually be compassionate and care. They have to care about their school. One of the things that actually we struggle with the most is you could be investing all the resources that you have, human resources, tutoring, extra time spent with the kids, trying to get the parents involved. If the child does not care, they will not care, and whatever you do is not going to make a difference for the most part. So they have to really care, and actually that is the top thing from my observation. If they really care and they're compassionate about it, then everything else kind of like becomes secondary to them. So that's top. Actually, that is number one. But if they care and they don't have the skills to prioritize, that's an issue. A student is not a student only. A student has other things in life that they're actually having to deal with. So they have to prioritize. And you know, there's only so much time in the day and so many hours in the day that if they don't learn to prioritize and be organized, it doesn't matter how much they care about their schooling, they will actually sometimes create their own obstacles and their own barriers. So if you know, you have to teach them to be organized. And here's the thing, the things that we mentioned in the previous videos, they work hand in hand with what I'm talking about right now. You know, that responsibility, that independence. If they don't learn to be independent and take responsibility, and they're struggling with prioritizing, they're going to outsource the blame to other things. Well, you know, there's too much homework, or oh my God, my parents have too much expectations of me. Of course, we have to keep a balance in all of those, but I'm talking about the qualities that the kids would have. We could talk about parenting and things to kind of like be balanced between school, homework, and house chores. That's something that we could talk about in a different video, but I'm talking about the qualities that the student should have. Perseverance is one thing that the students also must have. A lot of times, and I hate to say it, especially in the time of technology, we look at all the successful stories. Somebody started a YouTube channel and they're making, you know, thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars, and our kids actually see that. And they think as long as you're compassionate about something, then it should work for you, right? All you have to have is the love for that thing. Unfortunately, they don't really recognize the true reality of life, is that being passionate about something and caring about it is one of the things that we pray will get you to wherever you need to go. When they learn to prioritize and they're independent and they're responsible, and they're really compassionate and they're perseverant, you know, perseverance and passion and compassion for their schooling, believe it or not, if you put these two together, that's what we call grit. And that pretty much is a key that researchers found to be one main determinant when it comes to success. And this is not just in schools, by the way. There was actually a TED Talk, I forgot what's the lady's name, and she actually, and she was a researcher, and she was a teacher, by the way, herself. When she did a research, I think it was at her PhD thesis, if I'm not mistaken, she went to different places, not just students. She went actually to a military branch. I forgot if it was the Navy or the Army. Don't quote me on this. She went to companies, she went to schools. She said this, which is, I think, is very crucial for us to actually understand, especially for those who are looking for excuses why my kid is not successful. She said it was not about how smart they are. It was not about the IQ level. It was not about their socioeconomic class, meaning it wasn't really, if you're rich, you're going to succeed. If you're poor, you're not. And she listed a number of things that also they examined. And it was about the grit, that compassion and perseverance. I'm committed. I want to really get there. That played the biggest role in success. It doesn't matter how old your kids are, you really try to kind of like instill that in them. And it's a lot of things that actually go into it. And believe it or not, there's not a one recipe to actually instill perseverance, compassion, and all these factors that, when you put them together, they give you grit. But if you try to at least work towards that, make your kids care, make sure that they do take responsibility. We'll talk about the different responsibilities. Make sure that they do know how to prioritize, and the list goes on with the things that we mentioned, then inshallah, they will achieve the highest level of potential that they already have. It's just you're going to try to help them achieve that. So inshallah, in other videos, we'll be talking about different topics. One of them is going to be responsibility and how to instill that in our kids. And inshallah, like we mentioned, if you have any comments, any questions, any suggestions, please share those with us, and we'll continue inshallah to record these videos that we may all benefit inshallah. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and leave a comment down below on what other videos you'd like to see.